Greetings once again, and I had my audio slightly off for a second there, but we're all ready to go. So again, I've had this talk now for what? This should be the third day running since the other night. And no, and the fact of the matter is, I'm not going to let this go quite so easily. The comments from the likes, in fact, they're not even worth mentioning. Those people know who they are. You see, what they don't realize is I have all of the comments set on review. And if I don't particularly enjoy that comment, and it's all a bunch of, well, you're a butthurt asshole and this and that and everything under the sun, and you can't leave anything, then they're simply not going to be approved and you'll go in by the wayside like everybody else. I approve the comments on my own basis, not yours. This is my channel. These are my words, and nobody else is going to influence how or why I act the way I do. So now that that's out of the way, right down to the business again. I, over the last few months, have put more than enough time aside for people to sit down and have a chat. I have been told multiple times in the last few days that by the same particular arseholes that I left them when they needed me. I didn't leave. I was removed. Because Shadow was the one that removed me. There was no discussion, no talk. It was just happened. And I made the decision to leave. And that's exactly what I did. I'm a rather approachable person. If you want to have a conversation with me, you can have a conversation with me. If you want a conversation in confidence, it will be in confidence and will never be repeated. Because that's the kind of guy I am. You show me respect, I will show respect in return. Respect is earned. And it's rather difficult to get back into my good books if you're ever not in them. And at the moment, ironically, the only person who hasn't said a fucking word to me since Wednesday night. No, it wasn't Wednesday night. I think it was Thursday night. It might have been Friday. I'm not entirely sure of the dates. I've had a lot on. However, this being said, the only person to not say anything other than the PMs that we have exchanged, to me directly anyway, is David. Why, I don't know, because you can't really, unless you can read minds, you don't really know what somebody else is thinking. And unfortunately, I don't have the capacity to read bloody minds, otherwise I would. Yeah, Dutch got the boot because I made that happen. And I appreciate that, Stu, I do. But that's not really going to bother him because he plays about as much as I used to. I know he's not particularly interested in War Commander as much as I ever was. But I've opened the doors on more than one occasion to sit down with these particular people and have a word. And I still, again, I open the door. I open the door. And in fact, not only do I open the door, I open the door right now. If any of those guys that have a particular issue want to sit down, we'll sit down. And we'll do it live for everybody to hear. And we'll do it right here. We'll do it on my channel. Because it's impartial. It's not unshackled. It's not the Situation Room. I am an impartial judge. And in retrospective, I'm judge, jury, and executioner. Because the antics of this particular fucking arseholes right now are similar to political activism from the right wing. They don't like something, so they throw their dummy out of the pram, and they don't like what somebody said, so they all go off fucking cock. Half cocked, sorry. It's all a bunch of bull at the end of the day. And what you've got to realize is after 6.5 years of doing shows, whether they be on my channel, whether it be on Unshackled, whether it be the Situation Room, whether it be VC Talk Live, whether it be the BV shows, the Battle Pirate show, the War Commander show, the Vega show, I've done it all. I have done it all. I mean, I've seen the comments that I know nothing. You know, it's not that difficult to pick something up and learn it if you don't know something. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything, but I know a fucking great deal. I'm a learned individual. The title of doctor, my name is Dr. Phil Rowley. That's it. That is my name. I am a doctor. I'm an educated man. And what I am is just that. It's not that difficult for me to learn something. I've been able to program in 17 different computer languages. I've learned more than a lot of people would by the time they've reached my age. But no, the uneducated masses who struggled, who maintained flat grades, who most of them are a lot older than I am. I mean, I'm 28 years old. I'm a damn sight younger than most of these people. But not only do I have the education, I have experience. I've worked in my field since I was 14 years old. I don't need anything else. I have been through hell, I have come back, and I am on top of my game. I am better now than I have been in the last decade. And it's good to hear from people who I don't generally hear from at all, who support my position. If you don't support my position, give me an opposite argument. State your case. Not be some whiny little fucking child who can't get his facts correct, who spouts a bunch of platitudes, and then has all of his little buddies jump on, oh, Dr. Phil's a butthurt bitch, Dr. Phil's done this, and Dr. Phil's done this, and Dr. Phil's done everything else, and I've heard it all before. It's literally, I mean, I've got more fucking butthurt out of a bunch of old men than I have out of anybody else. Seriously. I have had more. I can annoy. I can annoy a bunch of old guys more than I've ever annoyed anybody in my life. And as amusing as that is, it ends today. I've offered my advice and support for a very long time, free of fucking charge, mind you. And my time isn't cheap. I've done tech support for guys. I have cleaned computers. I have gone through computers. You can talk to Roy. You can talk to Pascal. You can talk to fucking anybody. Anybody that's dealt with me in a particular manner who's needed my help has gotten it. And I have spent hours with people. One of my good friends, Bob, who used to play Vega with me. I've spent 12 solid hours with him teaching him how to install Windows and get his computer working properly. Because he had a massive system failure. What did I do? I spent my spare time helping him out. There is nothing that I am not capable of doing or learning or picking up. If I don't know something, I can ask somebody that does. It's not that difficult. I mean, there are a few people that are hurt by some of the stuff that I have said. And they've said as much that I have hurt them, hurt their feelings in some kind of way. Should I apologize for it? Probably. Am I going to? Probably not. The unemployed expert comments are rather amusing. Nobody gets paid for running a show. The channel isn't even monetized. So there is no money coming in from anywhere. If they want an unemployed expert, they should go and seek one out. Because there is no such thing as an expert in the games. In any game, there's always going to be one guy that is better than you. Always. I'm an expert. I'm an expert in a lot of areas. But there are some things I don't understand just as much as anybody else. Because it's not my field. It's not what I know. We'll take the example. For instance, one guy runs a Mac, one guy runs a PC. I'm in a better position to help the guy on the PC than I am the guy who has a problem on the Mac. Because PCs are my deal. They're what I deal with every day. You want to go, if somebody owns a Mac and has the same issue or is able to fix the issue, go see him. Because he is an expert in that area. But this is what you're not understanding. I've had an open door policy since day one. If you message me, there's a high chance and a high probability that I would reply within minutes. I don't sleep very well, so I'm up a lot of times. You can ask Roy. Me and Roy have spent a lot of time just playing Star Trek Online together recently, and I've taught him a bunch of shit. But this is what you're not understanding about me. It's not that I'm butthurt or I'm upset that this has happened. I'm betrayed by the whole damn thing, and betrayal is something that nobody should have to deal with in this particular manner, because I've worked with every single person on that fucking panel at one time or another. I've worked with all of them. Fought alongside them, fought with them, fought against them sometimes. I mean, I showed up in Royd Sector one day for a memorial thing after a guy I played with for years had passed away. Everybody had disappeared. I was particularly stuck in that sector because of some bullshit that had gone on. And that's what happened there. It was funny, but it happened. Not everybody is going to get along with everybody else. And me and Roy have had our differences. But we get along because we're people. We don't hold a grudge. I mean, I can hold a grudge. But only when it is absolutely necessary. Here's the thing. The bottom line. My doors are open. You want to sit down and chat? We'll sit down and chat. Nothing more, nothing less. And if you can explain it to me in detail, without giving me the same bullshit excuses I've continually heard, and actually give me the truth, then more than likely any onslaught that I could possibly give, let alone probably, would cease immediately. Because what you've done here is you've split a community and split people who were loyal to me and loyal to Shadow and at one point loyal to Unshackled and the brand that me and him built. Because it wasn't just me. He started the whole damn thing. He was in it for a long time before he made the decision to quit. And I stepped back in. I left the game and I came back and I left the game again. It happens. It happens to everybody. There are people that have quit for years and come back. I quit for a while, came back, and quit again. It happens. It happens because you get bored. People like me, we go through phases of things. We'll play a lot of stuff. There are games that we play to take breaks from other games. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Unshackled was something I cared about a great deal. A great deal. It was. But I'm reading the side chat here and it's... Please stop doing that. There's no place for it. But I have to say that I'm disappointed. I was unshackled. I was unshackled for a long time. 3 years. Almost. I think. Maybe it's coming up to 3 years. And I did 2.5. Every week. Even when I was sick, I came out of major surgery. 2 days later, I did a show. Even though I was in agony, I did it anyway. It was last year. And I came out of hospital and I did a show. Because that's who I am. I was loyal to my brand. It was a brand that I'd put a lot of time into, a lot of effort into, and the way it's gone, I don't like. The Puppet Master hasn't said a word yet. That's debatable on whether the Puppet Master has actually seen anything I have said. No, you won't see Dutch doing anything as soon as Dutch disappeared off the face of the earth and hasn't been seen for a very, very long time. I think he was seen once after my departure, and then after that, some things were said to somebody that didn't fall particularly well into my ears or the Shadow Killer's ears. Ha! The man himself! That's ironic. That's fucking irony for you. It's the day of irony today. It really, really is. It's been a long time. But it won't stop here. Because there is always a plan within a plan with me. Nothing is ever as straightforward as you quite think. And I'm not quite done. So, hopefully, I will see you all again. Hopefully, soon. Sooner rather than later. If the same particular people pull the fingers out of their backsides and get on with the job they're supposed to be doing. And sit down with the guy that built the show. And sit down with the guy who pulled it off. No matter the circumstances. No matter what happened in his own personal life. There was a lot that went on that a lot of you don't know, but I did it anyway. And regardless as to what comes next, I do what I do, and there is not a single fucking person that is going to stop me. Not now, not ever. It's not the way I work. I have terminated links with Unshackled. I open the door for conversation, but other than that, my gratitude now goes to somewhere else. To people who listen to advice, listen to arguments, as well as listening to opinions. Because if you can't take anybody else's opinion and weigh it against your own, then what good are you? Without objectification, you're doomed to failure. And your analytics will say just that. There's a great deal of things that have to be done behind the scenes from this point on. And I will do what I must to secure the safety and stability of me before anything else. If a show is doomed to failure, then a show is doomed to failure. It's happened before, it'll happen again, and that's the order of things. So with that, once more, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace out.